Good morning. It is a Sunday and we are hosting a morning tea, just a couple of people at our place. I'm going to be making some puff pastry squares, so I thought I'd take you along for the ride. We're gonna have some puff pastry sheets with some chopped spinach, some onion, and then some feta as well. I'm going to probably pop 9 per puff pastry square. I might do 2 lots, maybe 18 of them. I'm going to pop them in some balsamic vinegar, oil, and hopefully we have some brown sugar because I'd like to caramelize them in that. But I am in a huge rush, so it's gonna be a time lapse with voiceover, so I'll take you along for the ride. I'm also going to be chopping up some breadstick with cream cheese, smoked salmon, and maybe a bit more feta on top of that as well. So I'll quickly run you through both. This is one of my favorite snacks to make when we're entertaining, or if you're going to someone's place to bring. I feel like it's kind of elevated and fancy, but also like super basic and easy. First, I just cooked the onion until it was brown. Then I added in the spinach. I just get the frozen pre-cut like chopped spinach, and then I put it in the microwave for a minute or so just to like soften it a bit. That's all in the pan. Then I add in some balsamic, some brown sugar, mix it all till it's all caramelized. Then I quite literally just cut the puff pastry after leaving out to defrost for like a minute or two while I'm doing everything else into 9 pieces. I'd like to say they're all the same size, but they're clearly not. I then just pop them in the oven for a good 25 or so minutes. You'll see the puff pastry rise and get like a really nice golden crispy color. Then they're ready to go. And I also sliced up the baguette into nice thick slices, a large helping of cream cheese, some smoked salmon on top, and used up the leftover feta as well. These went down a treat and were all delicious and well loved. Now on to the following day's lunch. I was using the leftover Greek chicken from last week that I had on my toasties in some pita pockets. Really simple, coating them with some tzatziki, some rocket, some cucumber. The chicken's in there too. I put a little bit of Danish feta that I had from the toasties last week as well. And then a little scoop of leftover avocado on top. A super easy lunch or dinner option. Then after a late lunch, I headed to the gym. I had a few PT sessions and then finished off the night joining in on our strength and mobility class. You just saw some chest flies. This here is a kettlebell armbar with a corkscrew motion through the shoulder, working on shoulder stability. We did some Bulgarians, which are always much loved, and I swear everybody's not slacking in the background, just fatigued. And then some Harrop curls, which gas my poor little hamstrings, and these are with a T-bar row as well. Flash forward to Tuesday morning, and I did another strength session at the gym before I headed into some reformer instructing. This is me running through the class. It is ring focused. Had a bit of arm work at the beginning, adding some rotations for obliques, some shoulder raises to burn out those poor little shoulders. We also had some cool hinge work in here, or work in a hinged position where you're leaning on the ring and getting some shoulder mobility, bicep curl, shoulder press, flying the arm out. The ladies found that very tough, especially this reverse motion here, but it was a goodie for the shoulder. We also used the ring for some supported push-ups, which is always fun and gives a bit of confidence in that push-up position. Then some inner thigh work, ring between long legs, a double leg lift, adding in some pulses, finishing with more pulses. It was a goodie. Then we finished with some glute work, some sweeps, some big long leg circles in both directions. I think everybody enjoyed themselves, but it was definitely a toughie. I'm a big fan of a full body workout, and that is exactly what they got. I've just wrapped up a morning of reformer instructing, and I'm just about to pop the slow cooker on for the next maybe 2 to 3 nights dinner. I'm doing an apricot chicken. I've got a tin of apricot nectar. I have a French onion soup mix. Normally I would put some onion or some veggies in there too, but we are short on the onion at the moment. So I'm gonna do the chicken and the mix first. I've got a kilo of diced chicken breast here. So I'm gonna pop all of that in the slow cooker first, pop it on high for maybe 2 hours or so. Then I'm gonna add some veg. I think maybe just some carrot at this stage. I'll have a look at what we've got. And a bit later on, I will add some rice so it kind of cooks and thickens up with the juices of the apricot nectar. I may or may not do some veg separate in the microwave to plate up at the end. I think we've got like some broccoli and zucchini, but they won't cook that nicely in the slow cooker. But I just really want the meat, the sauce, the rice to kind of all get nice and cooked and juicy, pop on and not really worry about for the rest of today, and we're ready tonight. It's 11:30 now. So if I pop it on high for about 4 hours, low for about 4 hours, it should be ready and nice by tonight. but I'll take you along with me as per usual, and I'll show you the finished product tonight too. Getting started by literally just putting everything in the air fryer, the diced chicken, the apricot nectar, and the French onion soup mix, and giving it a mix so it's all combined together. I decided to pop some eggplant and some capsicum in here too. I really wanted some like really soft, soggy, kind of caramelized veggies in there, and I feel like these are good ones that can like slow cook in there too. This is me just running through a quick lunch on the go at the same time. We had leftover rissoles because we did burgers the night before, so I just put all of that together into a little sandwich. It was delish. So the slow cooker has been on now for about 3 hours on high. It still has a fair bit of moisture in it. I ended up adding in eggplant and capsicum, as you would have seen previously. The chicken is definitely lightly cooked, which is perfect. But there's a fair bit of liquid in here, so I'm going to add the rice. I'm going to add 2 to 3 cups of rice and a chicken stock cube as well. And typically I would do a 1 cup of rice to 2 cups of water ratio. But since there's a good cup or so of water in there, I might just go 2 cups of rice, 2 cups of water. I'll just see how much is there. And then I can always leave it on a little bit longer if we need to dry up a bit of the moisture, or vice versa if it absorbs it all a little bit quicker. Let me get my measuring cup because I feel like this isn't a freehand kind of moment. Let's, whoop, chaos. Let's turn that to low. 1 cup. 2 cups. I feel like 2 cups is going to be plenty. And then let's go 1 cup of water as well. Give that a mix. Yeah, I feel like that's plenty of liquid. Just because I'm going out for a good couple of hours, I'm going to put another half cup in just in case, so it doesn't completely dry up while I'm gone. I'm going to leave that on for another maybe 3 hours while I head to my afternoon of reformer instructing. I'll come back and check it then when I get back around 6:30 or so and see how it's looking consistency wise. I assume it'll be pretty much done by then. I'm going to microwave some broccoli and zucchini if we've got it to serve up with the plates as well, maybe even some corn on the cob, but that's pretty much ready to go. The base of that meal is easy, just scoop it out, put it on the plate, but I'll show you the finished plate a bit later tonight. All right, I've just got home from work and the house smells divine. This has nicely soaked up lots of moisture. Probably, I'll give it a mix through and I'll show you what it's looking like, whether it needs a touch more liquid or not. I've just chopped up some veggies just to go with tonight's serve. There's peas and corn underneath, there's some broccoli, some zucchini, and then I'm gonna chop that corn in half and we'll just have a small little cob each to go with tonight's serve. I'll show you once I plate it up. Dinner is served and it looks and smells delicious. There's still lots of moisture in the apricot chicken dish. Either you could cook the rice separately if you prefer. This is definitely more like gluggy and like covered in the sauce, which I love. But if you prefer for the rice to be a little bit more grainy, you could very easily do them separate. I do that sometimes where I'll have the rice and then the chicken and mixture separate and just do that in the slow cooker too. Otherwise, this is a delicious way to do it. I found the eggplant has kind of like gone all like caramelized and like soggy in a good way throughout the mix. Same with the capsicum. There's so much flavor here. It smells divine. And then I've just done a side of some veg to add to the meal. Although it doesn't look like a huge portion, is definitely like the bulk of the meal. There was 1 kilo of chicken in the whole mix, plus the 2 cups of rice. So there's like heaps of substance to it. It looks delish. I'll have a try. Yum. And there's something about a slow cooked meal, like the tenderness of the chicken, the apricot nectar, that's delicious. Honestly, I reckon I probably could have gone 2 tins of the apricot nectar with the kilo of chicken. I normally do like 500 grams to 750 grams. I reckon you could even go more flavor with that and add a whole other tin, but that's still delicious and very flavorsome. Would highly recommend that as a dinner. Sometimes I'll do that in the pan as well, or you can put it as like a bit of a marinade, pop it in the oven. It works in all of those. So if you don't have a slow cooker, that's a very easy option too. But there's nothing beats a slow cooker. The fact that I could put that on at 11, not really think about it until I added the rice and then just plate it up then. Didn't really have to do much hard work at all besides put it together in the air fryer. I mean the slow cooker, sorry. Yeah, easy peasy. Cannot complain. Another easy dinner that is absolutely delicious. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I've got a whole lot of bits and pieces to run you through the week as per usual. I'll pop all the recipe ingredient lists down below in the description, and I will see you next Wednesday PM for next week's video.